and welcome to another episode of the Saving History podcast, where we dive into the captivating stories of history's most fascinating figures and the castles they called home. Today we embark on a riveting journey through the life of Catherine of Aragon, the first wife of King Henry VIII and the queen who refused to be cast aside. In this episode we will delve deep into the intricacies of Catherine's life, her marriage to Henry, and the significant impact she had on English history. We will also visit the magnificent castles that played a crucial role in her life, exploring their rich histories and architectural marvels. Catherine of Aragon's story is filled with political intrigue, love, defiance, and unwavering determination. Born into a powerful and influential royal family, she was destined for greatness. Her life would take her from the opulent courts of Spain to the palaces of England, where she would eventually be crowned queen. However, her journey would also be filled with heartache and adversity, as she struggled to hold on to her position and maintain her dignity in the face of immense opposition. Throughout this episode, we will explore the early years of Catherine's life, her education, and her relationships with her family. We will also discuss her marriages to both Arthur, Prince of Wales, and later his brother, Henry VIII. Additionally, we will investigate the political motivations behind these marriages and the challenges Catherine faced of Queen Consort of England. As we delve into the compelling story of Catherine of Aragon, we will visit the stunning castles that played a significant role in her life. From the beautiful Alhambra Palace in Granada, Spain, where she spent part of her childhood, to the grandeur of Hampton Court Palace, where she ruled alongside King Henry VIII, we will transport you to these captivating locations, exploring their histories and their connection to Catherine's story. Join us as we uncover the fascinating life of Catherine of Aragon, a woman who refused to be cast aside and whose legacy continues to inspire and captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. This journey promises to be both engaging and enlightening as we delve into the life of a woman who stood her ground against the most powerful man in England and changed the course of history. Catherine of Aragon was born on December 16, 1485, in the town of Alcalá de Henares, Spain. As the youngest surviving daughter of King Ferdinand of Aragon and Queen Isabella of Castile, she was born into one of the most influential royal families in Europe at the time. Her parents' marriage had united the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon, laying the foundation for the modern nation of Spain. With such a prestigious pedigree, Catherine was destined for greatness from the moment she entered the world. Throughout her childhood, Catherine received a top-notch education, typical of a royal princess of the era. She was taught Latin, French, and several other languages, as well as history, philosophy, and theology. She also received instruction in various arts, such as dancing and music. This well-rounded education not only prepared her for her future role as Queen Consort of England, but also equipped her with the intellectual acumen that would serve her well in the tumultuous years to come. Catherine's childhood was divided between several royal residences, including the Alhambra Palace in Granada. This stunning fortress and palace complex is an architectural gem that showcases the fusion of Moorish and Christian art and design. The breathtaking beauty and opulence of the Alhambra undoubtedly played a role in shaping Catherine's appreciation for art, architecture, and culture, which would later manifest in her patronage of the arts during her time as Queen Consort of England. Growing up, Catherine formed close bonds with her siblings, including her older sister Juana, who would later become known as Juana la Loca, and her younger sister Maria, who would eventually become Queen of Portugal. These relationships played a significant role in Catherine's life and would have a lasting impact on her emotional and political ties to her homeland. At just 16 years old, Catherine found herself betrothed to Arthur, Prince of Wales, the eldest son of England's King Henry VIII. This marriage was a strategic alliance intended to strengthen the bond between Spain and England while further solidifying the Tudor dynasty's position of power. Both King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella saw this union as an opportunity to extend their influence across Europe and to gain an ally in their ongoing conflicts with France. Following a lengthy sea voyage, Catherine arrived in England in 1501. She married Arthur in a lavish ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral, with both Spanish and English dignitaries in attendance. As the new Princess of Wales, Catherine's life underwent a dramatic transformation, requiring her to adapt to a new culture, language, and way of life. The newlyweds were sent to Ludlow Castle in Shropshire, a formidable fortress that served as the administrative centre of the Welsh Marches. Here, Catherine and Arthur began their married life, living within the castle's well-appointed apartments and taking part in the governance of the region. Life at Ludlow was far from the opulence Catherine had known in Spain, but she quickly adapted to her new role and the challenges it presented. Tragically, their union would be short-lived. Arthur fell ill in early 1502, and despite Catherine's devoted care, he succumbed to his illness in April of that year. Catherine was left a widow at the tender age of 17, and her future was suddenly uncertain. The political alliance that her marriage had secured was now at risk, and her status within the English court was thrown into question. Following Arthur's death, Catherine's future was uncertain. Her parents, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, sought to maintain their alliance with England by arranging a new marriage for their widowed daughter. After extensive negotiations, it was agreed that Catherine would be betrothed to Arthur's younger brother Henry, who was then Duke of York. However, there were numerous obstacles to overcome before the marriage could take place. There were concerns over whether the Pope would grant a dispensation for the marriage, given the close familial ties between Catherine and Henry. Furthermore, Henry VII seemed to be in no rush to finalize the union, possibly due to financial disagreements with Ferdinand. During this time of waiting, Catherine resided at Durham House in London, living in relative isolation and facing financial difficulties. Despite her challenging circumstances, she remained steadfast in her commitment to her faith and her duties as a member of the royal family. She maintained a close relationship with her Spanish confessor, who provided her with spiritual guidance and support throughout this tumultuous period. In 1509, King Henry VII passed away, and Catherine's betrothed ascended the throne as King Henry VIII. With his new authority, Henry moved quickly to secure his marriage to Catherine, recognizing the political advantages of their union. The Pope granted the necessary dispensation, and the couple was married in a private ceremony at Greenwich Palace. After years of uncertainty, Catherine was finally crowned Queen Consort of England alongside her husband, King Henry VIII. The coronation ceremony took place at Westminster Abbey with great fanfare and celebration. Catherine's coronation represented the culmination of her journey from a Spanish princess to the Queen of England, and it marked the beginning of her public life as a symbol of the Tudor dynasty. Catherine's early years as queen were marked by happiness and relative stability. She and Henry enjoyed a close and affectionate relationship, and Catherine quickly earned the respect and admiration of the English court for her intelligence, grace, and piety. She served as a patron of the arts and education, supported charitable works, and actively participated in the governance of the kingdom. Despite her many accomplishments, Catherine faced immense pressure to produce a male heir to secure the Tudor dynasty's future. She experienced numerous pregnancies, most of which ended in miscarriage or stillbirth. However, in 1516, Catherine gave birth to a healthy daughter, Mary. Though Mary's birth was a joyous occasion, Catherine's inability to produce a male heir would eventually cast a shadow over her marriage and her position as queen. Hampton Court Palace, located just outside London, played a vital role in Catherine's life as queen. Originally built by Cardinal Wolsey, the palace was later gifted to King Henry VIII, who expanded and transformed it into a magnificent royal residence. Hampton Court Palace is renowned for its breathtaking architecture, which combines elements of both Tudor and Baroque styles, and its lavish gardens, which include the famous maze and the Great Vine. The palace also boasts impressive art collections and sumptuous living quarters, providing a fitting backdrop for the grand celebrations and important events that took place there during Catherine's time as queen. As Queen Consort, Catherine was actively involved in the daily life and management of Hampton Court Palace. She took a keen interest in overseeing the palace's domestic affairs, ensuring that it functioned smoothly and efficiently. She was also known to personally attend to the needs of her guests and the palace's many residents, demonstrating her kindness and generosity. As the years passed, Henry VIII grew increasingly desperate for a male heir to ensure the continuation of the Tudor dynasty. His attention turned to Anne Boleyn, a young, ambitious woman who had captured his heart. Desperate to be with Anne and father a son, Henry sought an annulment of his marriage to Catherine, which would allow him to remarry without violating the Catholic Church's teachings. This decision marked the beginning of a tumultuous period known as the Great Matter, during which Henry and his advisers engaged in legal and religious battles to obtain the annulment. Catherine, however, refused to accept her marriage's dissolution, maintaining that her union with Arthur had never been consummated and that her marriage to Henry was legitimate and sanctioned by God. Catherine's refusal to acquiesce to Henry's demands placed her in a precarious position, both politically and personally. Despite the immense pressure she faced, Catherine stood her ground, defending her marriage and her status as queen. Her unwavering determination and courage in the face of adversity would come to define her legacy and earn her the admiration of generations to come. In his quest to annul his marriage to Catherine, Henry VIII's determination led him to take a radical and unprecedented step, breaking with the Catholic Church and the Pope. Henry and his advisers found theological arguments to justify his actions, ultimately leading to the establishment of the Church of England with the king himself as its supreme head. This move drastically changed the religious landscape of England and sent shockwaves throughout Europe. Henry's break with Rome initiated the English Reformation, setting the stage for years of religious conflict and upheaval within the kingdom. As a devout Catholic, Catherine was deeply affected by these events. She refused to renounce her faith or accept the Church of England's supremacy, remaining loyal to the Pope and the Catholic Church. Her unwavering convictions further strained her relationship with Henry and heightened the tensions between them. As the annulment proceedings dragged on and Henry's relationship with Anne Boleyn intensified, Catherine's position within the court became increasingly precarious. In 1531, Henry made the decision to separate Catherine from her daughter Mary and banished her from the royal court. Catherine was initially sent to live at the Moor, a manor house in Hertfordshire, before being moved to several other residences over the years. Catherine's life in exile was marked by loneliness, uncertainty, and declining health. She was effectively a prisoner in her own home, closely monitored by Henry's agents, and denied contact with her daughter and the majority of her former courtiers. Despite her isolation and the numerous difficulties she faced, Catherine continued to defy Henry by refusing to acknowledge the annulment or her demotion from Queen to Dowager Princess of Wales. During her time in exile, Catherine remained committed to her faith and her supporters, many of whom remained loyal to her despite the risks involved. Through secret correspondence and her unyielding resolve, she continued to assert her position as the rightful Queen of England, inspiring her followers and maintaining her dignity in the face of adversity. In 1534, Catherine was moved to Kimbolton Castle, where she spent her final years. Located in Cambridgeshire, this once majestic fortress had fallen into disrepair by the time of Catherine's arrival. The castle's architecture, dating back to the early 13th century, would have served as a stark contrast to the splendour and opulence of the royal residences she had previously inhabited. During her time at Kimbolton Castle, Catherine's living conditions were far from ideal. Her health continued to decline, and she was often confined to her chambers. Despite her circumstances, she retained a small group of loyal ladies-in-waiting, who provided her with care, companionship, and support. These women risked their own positions and reputations to stand by Catherine, defying Henry's orders and demonstrating their unwavering loyalty to their beleaguered queen. And Catherine continued to defy Henry's attempts to have her acknowledge Anne Boleyn as queen, In her eyes, she remained the rightful Queen of England and Henry's legitimate wife, steadfastly clinging to her convictions until the end of her life. On January 7th, 1536, Catherine of Aragon passed away at Kimbolton Castle at the age of 50. The circumstances of her death remain a subject of debate among historians, with some suggesting that she may have been poisoned or that her demise was hastened by the poor living conditions she endured during her time in exile. Others attribute her death to natural causes, possibly a combination of stress, heartache, and her ongoing health issues. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the cause of her death, Catherine's passing marked the end of a tumultuous and heart-wrenching chapter in English history. On receiving the news of Catherine's death, Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn reportedly celebrated by wearing yellow, the colour of joy and triumph. This display of callousness highlights the intensity of the conflict between Catherine and her former husband and provides a stark contrast to the grief experienced by her supporters. Catherine was buried with the ceremony befitting the Dowager Princess of Wales at Peterborough Cathedral. Her funeral marked a sombre occasion, as many mourned the loss of a woman who had stood her ground against the most powerful man in England, refusing to be cast aside despite the enormous challenges she faced. Catherine of Aragon's legacy endures as a testament to her courage, determination, and unshakable convictions. Her refusal to accept her marriage's annulment and her demotion to the status of Dowager Princess of Wales exemplifies her indomitable spirit, which continues to inspire and captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. Catherine's impact on the course of English history cannot be overstated. Her marriage to Henry VIII, their struggle over the annulment, and the subsequent break with Rome played a pivotal role in shaping the religious and political landscape of Tudor England. The English Reformation, which Henry initiated in his quest for a male heir and a new marriage, laid the foundation for the Protestant faith in England, and contributed to centuries of religious conflict and strife. In addition to her political and religious influence, Catherine's patronage of the arts and education left an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of Tudor England. As Queen, she actively supported and encouraged the growth of scholarship, music, and artistic endeavours, contributing to the flourishing of the arts during her reign. The story of Catherine of Aragon continues to resonate with people today, serving as a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Her life, filled with triumph and tragedy, offers valuable lessons about perseverance, integrity, and the importance of standing up for one's beliefs in the face of adversity. Catherine's influence can be seen in the lives of her descendants, most notably her daughter Mary I of England, who would go on to become the first female monarch to rule England in her own right. The strong bond between Catherine and Mary, as well as the values and convictions instilled in Mary by her mother, would play a crucial role in shaping her own reign as queen. Moreover, Catherine's story has captured the imagination of generations of artists, writers, and filmmakers. Her life has been the subject of numerous works of fiction, film, and television, with each adaptation offering a unique perspective on her fascinating and tumultuous life.
Catherine of Aragon's extraordinary life continues to resonate with people across the world. Her story is one of strength, perseverance, and unwavering conviction in the face of overwhelming adversity. As a queen, a mother, and a woman, Catherine's enduring legacy is a testament to her indomitable spirit and her determination to stand up for her beliefs regardless of the personal cost. Though her life was marked by heartache, loss, and political upheaval, Catherine's steadfastness in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges serves as an inspiration to us all. Her refusal to be cast aside or to accept anything less than what she believed was her rightful place in history is a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up for our convictions and remaining true to ourselves, even when the odds are stacked against us. Through her enduring influence on the course of history, her impact on the cultural and artistic landscape of her time, and her unyielding spirit in the face of adversity, Catherine of Aragon remains a figure of immense fascination and inspiration for people from all walks of life. Her life and legacy continue to captivate our imaginations, demonstrating that even in the most challenging circumstances, one person's courage and determination can change the course of history. As we conclude this episode of the Saving History podcast, we hope you have gained a deeper appreciation for Catherine of Aragon's incredible journey and the powerful lessons her story offers. Through the exploration of the castles and landmarks associated with her life, we invite you to continue discovering and celebrating the rich history and enduring legacy of this remarkable woman who refused to be cast aside